Okay, I'm going to show you my book, book one of The Adventures of Rock and Roll Art Goddess. And this is the second edition, 2020. And the website I used to design my book and I ordered my book was from Shutterfly. Shutterfly is very cool. They have all kinds of products you can put photos on and art on. And they always have some good deals. So, this is a hardcover book too. Anyway. So on the back cover, because we're looking at the front cover and the back cover, before I talk about the back cover, I'm going to talk about the front cover. So this logo, The Adventures of, well, I don't know if the logo, it's my cover. My logo is something else, but I'll talk about that in a moment. So I wanted to go with primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and black and white, keep it simple. And I'll have to tell you about where the name Rock and Roll Art Goddess came from. That's in a zine, so I won't talk about it now. But that's like my, I could say my superhero name, Rock and Roll Art Goddess. And I was influenced by Lichtenstein, a famous pop artist from the 60s, 70s, and comics. I don't really read very many comics, but I like comic book style, so I kind of did my own thing when it came to comic book style. So to make a long story short, let's look at the photos on the back. The photos on the back are from when I was designing chapter 1 of my book. Okay. And this is a picture of me working at this South Shore Artists Association. I was the host one day, and I had made a cool jean jacket that says Art Girl on it with glitter. I had my laptop with me that day when I was at the art studio, and I was working on this. And then here's me. You can see the little bit of the guitar there. I projected this and painted it on a large canvas. And there I am again. You can see how big it is. I wanted to go big because for the art show, I took all these things I designed on the computer and I used a digital projector and I projected them on large canvas and traced them and painted them. And it was a lot of fun. And you can see me with the heart one here, and you can see my my paint setup there. And here I am with the one that I'm looking at here after it's done, just being silly, but you can kind of see how it's projecting on me. And then here is, this is like my business card. So it has my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for Rock and Roll Art Goddess. All right, let's get this party started. Okay, so this is an old picture of me, and it says Art Girl. Before she became Rock and Roll Art Goddess, she was Art Girl. Art saved her life. Now it's time for her to return the favor. And this was me back when I was like 5 years old. I don't know exactly what I was supposed to be that Halloween, but my mom made me a crown out of tin foil and sequins. I wish I still had it. And here is my logo. I own the rights to the font style, and you're gonna laugh when I tell you the name of the font. It's a little gross actually, but it's a font that I found off a tattoo app to design a tattoo. Now I don't have a tattoo of Rock and Roll Art Goddess yet, this logo, but I will. I did design the hyphen myself because when I bought the set of letters and the license to use them. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, it's the font is called Ink in the Meat. So when tattoo artists are tattooing skin, they call that the meat. Your arms, legs, whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. But I really liked the style of the lettering, and I was glad I was able to buy it because I was trying to find the graphic designer that designed it to get permission to use it, and then I found out that he had it online, and I was able to. I forget how much it cost me, but I bought it for just artistic use. And what else? And I have like unlimited usage. So normally, sometimes when you buy copyrights to do things, they only let you use it for so many times. Like I copyrighted a photo, and it was printed into publication, and when I wrote up the the paperwork I said for one-time usage only, but that was under the advice of my boss at the time. So we'll learn more about copyrights later. Copyrights are very, very interesting when it comes to music, art, books, all that jazz. So here's my cover again. I got the guitar because of rock and roll. We got the camera because I love to take pictures. And it's always an adventure. And the boom with the lightning and the stars because, there's always something going on, magic happening. All right, so where art began. So this is me and my mom. This was a picture that was actually in the newspaper, and here I am that Halloween again. I was at Knapp School at the Halloween walk, and yeah, we knew the photographer at the time, and he took a picture of us. And as you can see, my mom really didn't want to be in the picture, or I don't know. He caught an action shot of my mom putting my tinfoil crown on, okay? And I added this tiara on her later, and then I put these art letters on both of them in the primary colors because where art began, I get my art skills from my mom. Okay? All right, so here's the broken heart. It says, once upon a time, there was a quiet, shy little girl who was stressed out by the world when suddenly, first aid kit, art to the rescue. Art to the rescue. Just like I think I told some of you, I was an uptight, shy little girl. If I hadn't gotten into art, I don't know if I'd still be here today or where I'd be. So, and I had a third grade teacher who, told me, yeah, she told me that before I realized it. So, art saved my life. All right. Then we have the theater curtain, and it says, but the art world had so much more that she wanted to explore. Which path will she choose? Stay tuned. All right, so here's chapter 2, a shared gift. This is a old photograph of my dad and I, and back when I hardly had any hair, or you couldn't see it, I should say. And I added this box in here and put the words music because my dad and I share the gift of music. My dad never played any instruments or, sang or anything like that other than, just for his own personal entertainment. So he was never in a band or anything or played an instrument, but he can whistle a song. He can pick it up right away, the tune or the words. And just like that Take Me Home Country Road song, I guess we used to sing it when I was young in the truck. All right, so this next one, and I'm laughing, it has this little exclamation point. It says, image is too close to the edge and may not print well. Shutterfly is telling me that. So it printed just fine. So then it says, one fine day, and I have a piano here, and it says, she discovered she could play by ear. Yeah, I can play a lot of instruments by ear, meaning if I can hear the song, I can usually figure it out. Just this summer, I figured out that I can play piano better than I thought by ear, because the piano I got's always in tune, so that helped. On with the story. So these are all the different, instruments I've played. Some of them, and there's tons more, and they're in my toy box because, rather than play with toys, I was always playing musical instruments. So then it says she could play well, but would she ever leave her shell? Being quiet and shy. And it says time will tell. And you can see there's Michigan City. All right, let's dance. So yeah, I studied ballet, tap, ballet, like the ballet, why does it sound like I'm saying it funny? Tap and jazz. So I had the ballet shoes. I loved tap dancing. And before I even got my tap shoes, I made my own out of some shoes I used to play dress up with, some duct tape, and some keys. And I made my own tap shoes until the ones that my mom ordered me for dance class came in. And it says, too shy to know she was the star of the show. So at the big recital, and this is no lie, I was the only one that knew all the steps. So I practiced. And there was a part, and I was kind of towards the middle too. There was a part where the girls around me, but it seemed like everybody around me like stopped, and I kept going because like they forgot the steps, so I kept going, and I was really embarrassed by that because I wasn't doing what everybody was doing. I wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. I kept going because I'm like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. And even though I was like the star because I kept going, I was extremely shy and embarrassed, and never wanted to do it again. So the lesson learned there was when you step where others don't go, you better be sure to enjoy your solo. Okay? And what's interesting about these little stories about things that happened to me in the past, it's interesting how they circle around. So more chapters, more chapters. All right, so here is the art show. This is when it opened, November 3rd, 2017, Lebesnick Center for the Arts. Originally, and you can see the room, how the room was laid out. The boom picture was on the opposite wall than the one of my mom and I together. And what happened was I knew the artist that was showing there before me the month before, or was it 2 months before? August. My show wasn't until November, so a few months before. And I happened to stop by one day when he was hanging a show, and I was measuring the walls because I was set on going big. I said I wanted to make like a life-size comic book, and I kind of did. So here is the where art began, the photo that was in the News Dispatch back in 1976 with my mom and I. And then here's the photo of my dad and I one Christmas. I love how the Christmas tree lights got all glowy and blurry, like lens flare. And then I actually set up this shot. I had this big seashell. I don't know where it is now. And I put it on the beach, and I photographed it several ways because I wanted the shell in the foreground near, and then I wanted the lighthouse in the back. So that was 2019 when I took that photo. Yeah, 2019, because that was the second chapter. Then the dance part. Here are all these photos. My mom loved to take photos of me, can you tell? All these photos of me from my first dance recital back in 1980. And here I am doing some of my smooth moves in the living room, and then here I am on the stage. Oh, wait a minute, no, that's the living room, and then stage. Don't I look kind of nervous there? When I was in the living room, I'm fine, I'm smiling, but on stage, nervous. All right, so here at the art show again, here's my mom and dad, and we're in front of the Where It Art Began. It says Kelly with her parents and hubby. Kelly's mom took lots of great photographs of Kelly's childhood. Yes, she did. Here I am with my husband. My husband helped me hang the show. He also helped figure out a way, a hanging system in our basement for the canvases so I could paint. So it says, Kelly Totally Rothmel is currently sharing her life story through the adventures of rock and roll art goddess. Be sure to stay tuned as the saga continues. All right, and that is the end of my book 1. So stay tuned for more stories. I do have more chapters. I just haven't put them in a book yet. So stay tuned.